bottom line is there's a lot that we control. My favorite line about genetics is that genetics load the gun, but your actions and habits pull the trigger. So you get to decide what you do with it. If you want to just say, this is the hand I was dealt, oh well, poor me, that's fine. But my preference is taking more of an empowered approach and saying there's a lot of things that I can do and I can control, and I'm going to see how far I can take it.
This is the Alden Report.
Folks, before we get into our next guest, I'm super excited about our latest program. Look, we've been on television for close to 20 years, literally selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of products and services that have had a positive impact on people's lives. We've created millionaires. If you've ever watched television, you've most likely seen me on television, not dressed like this, but in a suit and a tie. Listen, we've re-engineered the process. We're allowing people, a small group of people, whether you're an author, whether you're a business coach, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you have a program or a service that you feel as though that can have a positive impact on people's lives, and you want to up-level your game. You know, you're tired of what's going on social media. You're tired of AI is not kicking in. You're tired of all the money that you spent and you're not seeing any return. You're tired of all these fraudsters out there that tell you they're going to put you in Huffington Post or USA Today or Forbes, and it's nothing just but a joke. You want to be in front of millions of people every single day all over the country. Folks, we've been doing it for 20 years. We've re-engineered the process. We've made it possible for the average everyday person to participate in this. If you want to up-level your game, if you truly want to build your profile, if you truly want to get in front of millions of people every single day, send me a direct message at Mike Alden 2012. You'll see it on the bottom of the screen, at Mike Alden 2012, and put TV in the message, and I will get back to you personally and see if you're a good fit for us. Again, send me a direct message at Mike Alden 2012. Send me the message TV, and we'll see if you're a good fit.
This is the Alden Report.
All right, my name is Mike Alden. We are here in the new Blue Bay studio. It's a little bit different. We got my Ask More, Get More book behind me. I still got the 99-cent glasses. The audio might be a little bit different, and we're still kind of working on it, but I'm liking our new space. We still got that backdrop, which is cool. It's a real backdrop, but I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about next. We're going to be talking about peak performance. We're going to be talking about nutrition. We're going to be talking about health. We're going to be talking about wellness. And for those of you who've been following me on Instagram, I've been kind of leaking some things about me and some of the things that I'm doing. In fact, my guest doesn't even know this. I didn't even want to tell him because I want to talk about it live on the show. My next guest is Mike Millner. Mike's been helping people not only get better with their brain, but also with their body as well. He's been doing it for a long time. He's been helping people all over the world. And if that's you, right? And it's me, by the way, that's why I'm excited to have him, because I want to know about what he's doing, how he's helping people as well. So a lot of times we do this podcast kind of for a selfish reason, because I want to know this stuff. So if I want to know it, I'm sure you want to know about it as well. Please help me welcome Mike Millner. Mike, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Let me first apologize again publicly for one. I had to cancel the first one, and then we're running a little bit late in this one. But let me just tell you why first, and tell you why I was late. So I've been on my own fitness journey myself, and man, I'm really going to commit to what I'm about to say. So I'm 47, and I decided 7 weeks ago that I am going to compete in a men's physique show. So that's why this is a bit of a selfish reason to be here, because I started thinking about my weight and my age and all these other things. And I'm like, you know what, man, I better get a hold of it now. So let's just jump right into that part of it. We're into the new year, depending on when this airs, we're not really sure. But either way, we're into 2023, and we always see it in January where everybody goes to the gym and tries to get healthy, and then they usually give up. But let's talk a little bit about those New Year's resolutions, which I think a lot of times are just kind of a waste of time anyway. But let's talk about when this time of year, when people start to say, well, you know what, I want to get healthy now. Why do they wait?
Yeah, it's a great question. For some reason, we need a wake-up call of some kind, and that can be the calendar changing. Like nothing really changed from December 31st to January 1st, except for some numbers changing. And or there's like a health scare or some kind of a situation where, I've had clients who said it was, oh, I had a scare at the doctor's office, or I went to play with my kids and, I was on the ground. I had a hard time getting back up, or I walked up the steps and I recognized I was out of breath. And there's that like wake up call. Sometimes there's just some kind of trigger that needs to happen for people to wake up. And it's unfortunate. Like, I read a statistic about the most likely scenario for any kind of change is when something tragic happens, like smokers are more likely to quit after they get diagnosed with lung cancer. People who are overweight are more likely to lose weight after they have a heart attack or some kind of a health concern or scare. So the new year, I guess for some, the holiday season is typically a time where we eat more freely. We're not really getting to the gym. Our routines are thrown off a bit. And then I think there's that, I better get my stuff together. And we set those resolutions. Interestingly enough, the research tells us that resolutions have about an 8 to 9% chance of being successful, which is not very good. However, goals set at other times during the year have about a 4% chance of being successful. So for some reason, when you set that resolution or that goal in the new year, it actually is a higher likelihood of being successful than at other times. Take that for whatever it's worth. Maybe that's a reason to actually set some intentional resolutions and maybe change the approach, because we could get into the whole psychology of why they fail. But the research is clear that setting goals in the new year actually gives you a greater probability, even though the odds aren't that good overall.
Wow. I thought you were actually going to say the opposite, right? Because I recently just posted, this show's never about me, well, a little bit, but, I just recently posted, I was down in Florida about, the whole New Year's resolution. And I think most of it is for people who are, procrastinators and they just like looking for something. And I got some pushback, actually. I got some people kind of like giving me shit about it. And I just fired back and I was like, well, my whole thing is why wait, right? Like, what are you waiting for? Okay. If you want to get healthy, why wait to January 1st? If you want to quit smoking, like, why are we waiting to January 1st? You want a better job? You want more to make, like, well, I don't understand why we're making more money. So yeah, let's talk about the psychological aspect of it. It's interesting. Again, I thought you were going to say the opposite, but I guess it kind of makes more sense to me. Why is it that why do we wait?
Yeah, so I think, well, I completely agree with you. I don't think that there's any reason to wait. I think that if you want something, there's the old adage, which is like the best time to plant a tree was 50 or 100 years ago. The second best time is today. And I wholeheartedly believe that. I think that, a great recipe for failure is to push things off till tomorrow, to push things off till next week, to say, I'll do it when ... So my belief is that there isn't a valid reason to wait. There is just something about a fresh start. I think that there's this psychological component of that reset button. Like, we all wish we had this remote control for life where we could rewind, take decisions and do them differently, or fast forward through the hard times, or whatever it may be. And I think there is something about that reset mindset of, it's a new year, it's a fresh start. I get to kind of wipe the slate clean and rewrite the narrative. Now, one thing about humans psychologically is we are really bad at predicting future emotional states, and we're really bad at reflecting back on previous emotional states. So that plays a role when we start to project our New Year's resolutions, because we fantasize about this idealistic version of ourselves that is not reality. And we think about the outcome. We think about how good we'll feel when we lose the 50 pounds, or when we stop smoking, or when we make more money. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. The challenge is that we can't get too caught up into that fantasy, because there's all this work that goes into it in between. The commitment, showing up when you don't want to, putting in the hours at the gym, or prepping food, or whatever needs to happen for you to actually accomplish that goal. Emotionally, you won't be in that same idealistic state that you're in when you fantasize about it. So we have this neurotransmitter called dopamine, and dopamine feels really good when it's released. It gives us that pleasure feeling, and it's really the promise of a future reward. And that's kind of dopamine's job. It gets us to take action. It motivates us to take action. So this promise of a ideal body, this promise of not smoking, this promise of making more money, this dopamine release happens, and it feels really good, and it gets us up and motivated to do something about it. The problem is that it's not going to be there forever. In other words, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to want to, lay in bed instead of going to the gym. You're not going to want to order healthy food. You're going to want to take the convenient fast food option. So we tend to lose sight of that because we get caught up in this fantasy land of how amazing it's all going to be. And then when stuff gets real, when it's actually challenging, that's when we typically see people fall off. They have this idea that they have to be perfect, and then they sabotage themselves. And there's a whole bunch of reasons why we do that and why we start back over. One of them is because we actually go back to that initial starting point of setting a new goal and getting that dopamine release again. So it's like, as I'm on this journey to bettering myself, when it does get hard, rather than pushing through that, rather than keep going, sometimes it's easier to sabotage myself, start at the beginning, and then fantasize again about how amazing I'm going to feel when I reach this goal. And it just starts that dopamine feedback loop all over again.
I'm super excited about our latest program. Look, we've been on television for close to 20 years, literally selling hundreds of millions of dollars with products and services that have had a positive impact on people's lives. We've created millionaires. If you've ever watched television, you've most likely seen me on television, not dressed like this, but in a suit and a tie. Listen, we've re-engineered the process. We're allowing people, a small group of people, whether you're an author, whether you're a business coach, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you have a program or a service that you feel as though that can have a positive impact on people's lives, and you want to up-level your game. You know, you're tired of what's going on social media. You're tired of AI is not kicking in. You're tired of all the money that you spent and you're not seeing any return. You're tired of all these fraudsters out there that tell you they're going to put you in Huffington Post or USA Today or Forbes, and it's nothing just but a joke. You want to be in front of millions of people every single day all over the country. Folks, we've been doing it for 20 years. We've re-engineered the process. We've made it possible for the average everyday person to participate in this. If you want to up-level your game, if you truly want to build your profile, if you truly want to get in front of millions of people every single day, send me a direct message at Mike Alden 2012. You'll see it on the bottom of the screen, at Mike Alden 2012, and put TV in the message, and I will get back to you personally and see if you're a good fit for us. Again, send me a direct message at Mike Alden 2012. Send me the message TV, and we'll see if you're a good fit.